Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos. News, views, and interviews just the way you like it. Exclusive on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos. Sports Hub for all the updates and analysis.
This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. For the best in sports entertainment, tune in to Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM.
Of course, it is a Sports Talk Show right here on Impact Radio 102.1 FM. It's a Friday edition of the show today, the 11th day in the month of October, year 2024. Some 7 minutes down the flip side of 5 right now, and I tell you, the Super Eagles of Nigeria are very much in action as we speak against the Mediterranean Knights of Libya at the third match day of the African Cup of Nations 2025 qualifiers. Our boys are focused and the match is kicked off already. I tell you, some 6 minutes into the encounter, our 4-3-3 formation I mentioned to you is what the Super Eagles of Nigeria are going into this game with. Starting off the attack, it's going to be Victor Boniface, complementing him on the right flank. We've got Ademola Lookman, and just to the right side is Alexander Iwobi. Middle of the park is Frank Oyeka and also Wilfred Ndidi. Olaino is right there. You got Moses Simon, Bruno Yemechi will be manning the half of the defense alongside William Trust Ekong, Calvin Bassey making up for the third pair in the half of the defense. And still in goal, you already know, Stanley Unwabali right here on the Sports Talk Show 9 Radio 102.1 FM. We'll be taking you through the match and the current proceedings. But right now, I tell you, it's still 0-0 and it's 7 minutes played into this encounter, bringing you more updates as we go through in the game. Now, welcome to the Sports Talk Show right here on 9 Radio 102.1 FM. There's so much to talk about, so much to look into. Yes, just like I mentioned, we'll be giving you a real life update as the match proceeds. Super Eagles of Nigeria in action this evening against the Mediterranean Knights of Libya. Of course, everyone is hearing the Super Eagles on to victory. Now, 4-3-3 formation. We'll see what this one is going to bring for us, because it's been a long time. There are a lot of fans have been clamoring that we want to see something like this happen to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and maybe this is just the right time. We need to whoop these boys. This nothing guys. They seem to always be feeling themselves, and yeah, this looks like the perfect opportunity. So when we travel to Libya next week, we go face our own Warrant as well. And of course, just like Pep has mentioned, Zereso himself says, guys, you know what? I want the maximum 6 points, and when I get these 6 points, I already know that qualification is sure for me. Eddie Jajibo is my name. Such an honor to be your host on the show this evening, and I must say, happy Referee Day at all of the referees out there as well. We're celebrating the International Referee Day around the world, significant date where we are looking to uphold justice on the football field across the planet. To every referee out there, are you a FIFA badge referee? Are you a CAF badge referee? I say happy celebration to you. Welcome to the show. So much to talk about, so much to look into, especially not just considering that Super Eagles of Nigeria in action, which is going to be the bulk of our show for today, but a couple of actions as well went down in the UEFA Nations League last night as well. Belgium, from 2 goals down, were able to draw 2-2 with Italy. France without Mbappe and also put, should I call it the dagger or a sword in the heart of the Israelis. And England at home also lost out to Greece. Leo Cassi still on the interim assignment, but do you think this is the right way for him to start off his new job, losing at the Wembley Stadium? You know, England fans, they don't take this like this for levity. And welcome you to the show, especially this evening. Don't forget, you can be a part of the show. 07001021121 is the number to call. 0700 1021 1021. You can as well send us your message on WhatsApp, maybe a regular text message, 0907224518. You can keep track of this update and more by following us across all social media platforms. We are live on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Impact Radio 102.1 FM on Facebook, as well as YouTube at Impact 102.1 FM. You can join us on X, which is formerly Twitter, at Impact 102.1 FM. Of course, I'm not alone in the studio this evening, and together with Warit, we'll be looking to do justice to the proceedings of this particular encounter on the show, Sports Talk Show, right here on Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Of course, a very good evening to you, Warit, and welcome to Sport Talk.
Good evening, Ayodeji. Good evening to all our listeners. And you know that you said on Wednesday that when we are going to be here, the Super Eagles will be playing their match against Libya. And they have started. They are putting on the white jersey. This is quite unexpected because you know that playing at home. The green is always our first jersey. But what we want is that the Super Eagles and Austin Eguavoen want to get the 3 points.
Of course, we're looking forward to see them get the 3 points this evening against the Mediterranean Knights of Libya, because that is everything the fans will be looking forward to. Amazing evening is going to be. Let's quickly take a look at the lineup of the Super Eagles going into this game. Like I rightly mentioned it at the start of the show, of course, as expected, we know a lot of which is on name, but Victor Boniface leading the attack for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Yes, it's quite surprising that Austin Eguavoen kind of changed his formation, because the last time we played during the international video, it was more of a 3-man defense, and we had four people in the middle and 3 up front. But now he has gone back to a 4-3-3 formation. And we are seeing all the people, like I already said, pressure is on Victor Boniface. And I saw the interview he did that he said he doesn't want to talk about him scoring, that if the team, as long as his team wins, that he doesn't care. But as a player, you know that you're under pressure. I think this is his 7th or 8th appearances with the Super Eagles, and he hasn't gotten any goal for us. So this match that we don't have Victor Osimhen, he has to step up, because we have to get the maximum point against these Libyans. And we know all the issues. I could remember yesterday during the press conference, there was one period that the Super Eagles wanted to do that press conference, but the Libyans stopped them from doing it because they said
North Africans and spying, they are like 5 or 6.
Exactly. They are going to be spying on them, and hopefully at the end of the day, all those spying that they were talking during this press conference, Nigeria showed them that we don't need to spy on you
before we get to trash you. All right. I mean, still coming into the game this afternoon is also Moses Simon and Frank Oyeka starting. Frank Oyeka especially starting in the heart of the military for the Super Eagles.
Frank Oyeka is more like a double pivot in the middle, where we have Frank Oyeka with Didi, and we have Alex Iwobi playing ahead of those two midfielders. And Moses Simon, like I said, during the AFCON 2021, we saw how Moses Simon was quite explosive, because he was the one doing all the job when it comes to the attacking work for the Super Eagles, under Austin Eguavoen during that AFCON. And it was quite expected, since we don't have Victor Osimhen in the game. We were looking for a replacement. And on the right wing, Samuel Chukwueze, if you are looking at his form with his club, he hasn't been that. He's not even getting game time. And talking about other players, the only person I could see maybe who could have started ahead of him is Chidera Ejuke. But Austin Eguavoen went for the man he knows, the person that he has seen before played under him. And we will see more of, because as it stands, Lookman and Moses Simon have a job to provide opportunities for Victor Boniface to actually get opportunity to score.
All right, we're still looking at 10 minutes played already into this encounter, and I tell you, it's still 0-0 between the two sides. Bulk of the possession definitely coming from the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We hope that at the end of the day, this turns into some kind of goals for the Super Eagles of Nigeria before we go into it. It's online not trying to take a throw-in into the encounter as we speak right now. And let's quickly go straight into other matches that went down yesterday before we come back to talks about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You know, we do it on Fridays. We do Just Football, and Just Football we'll be doing in the course of the show. Let's start with the English national team. That's the Three Lions playing against Greece yesterday, bro. They lost out to Greece 2-1 in their Nations League encounter, bro. For a very long time, the Three Lions have not lost at home at the Wembley Stadium.
You know what about something like the class league is that it seems that he's coaching the other 21. Not only that, he's coaching the same.
I mean, last night there was a particular time he had Phil Foden, he had Jude, he had Bukayo Saka was also on the pitch. He had Cole Palmer on the pitch too. These 4 guys.
You know what happened is that when you are listening to the fans, the fans have a lot of different opinions.
They'll mislead you.
Exactly. He was going according to the gallery. That's what he has been hearing from the press, from the fans, and he kind of set up that team in a way that you have a lot of attacking options. You have Gordon, Jude Bellingham, Cole Palmer, Saka, Foden, and Rice. And you had a striker, not another striker. He kind of played a first line where Jude Bellingham was the first line. Wait, if you had to look at this from this angle, the way he even set up the team was allowing Cole Palmer to sit deep with Declan Rice, which was kind. You will not see the job of Declan Rice. Declan Rice at Arsenal needs someone who could partner him, and he's not even playing as his DM at Arsenal. He's playing more as an 8 when it comes to Arsenal. So yesterday's setup was more of an attacking setup. Look at the people even in defense. We have the likes of we had Arnold playing right back, and also who played left back. I forgotten who played left back. Just to show that there was more of an attacking setup than looking at the defensive angle. And yesterday, it's kind of not worked for them. Maybe another time it could have worked for them, because if this thing had worked for England, a lot of people will come and praise with Casley. But yesterday, it didn't go according to plan for them. And at the end of the day, Jude Bellingham stepped up in the game. And at the 90th minute, we thought that he was going to end in a draw. But no Greece had other plans. I'm not forgetting those goals they scored yesterday was dedicated to
George Baldock, who died at the age of 31, yes, of course. All right, for England and for Leo Cassia as well, looks like his chances of getting the job permanently is not going to be going into fruition as it is right now. Do you still see the Football Association giving Leo Cassia the job at the end of the day?
You know that after Gareth Southgate resigned from his position as the England manager, Leclerc took over, and he's still based on interim basis. I think he was given 5-match ultimatum to show what he has. But as it stands, he won his first 2 games. But yesterday,
100% record.
But yesterday, it wasn't England's day, and he has 2 more games to show what he has. But I don't think that I never see him as a permanent manager, someone to become. You could not forget. Let us forget that at some point, the current head of global soccer for Red Bull, that's talking about Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen Klopp,
was kind of vying for. There were talks that he was part of people who were looking for the position to become England manager. But as it stands, Leclerc has to show that he doesn't have to follow what people are saying outside. He has to work based on what he knows, based on what the team's strength. You saw a lot of people criticizing Gareth Southgate, but looking at Gareth Southgate as a whole, compared to the time before he came, English national team were not a team that when going into the major tournament, we were not confident. But other Gareth Southgate, even though they were playing boring football, check their stats, check their record. They got into the final of the Euros back to back. They lost the final to Italy and also the Spain national team. 2022 World Cup, they got the semi-final of the World Cup. The last World Cup, I think it was the quarter-final where they got knocked out by France, French national team. All this, you see that there was kind of a progress coming from when Gareth Southgate was not in charge of the English national team. So he has a lot of work to do. He shouldn't invite the people that he know. Invite people that you know that when it comes to getting the job,
they are going to deliver.
Exactly. Major tournaments, you don't have to rely on the other 21s. Look at what he did. He brought in the likes of Angel Gomez, the likes of Noni Madueke, who were not regular when it comes to the English national team. But now he has to face the reality. When you are going to a major tournament, this is kind of like a reality check for you that you need the people that you can rely, the people that you trust, the people who have gone to major tournaments, who have the experience to actually get to those results. And it's just a beginning. Thank God that it's just a Nations League. It's not a major tournament.
Okay, now big question: who do you see? Because I mean, just like you also rightly mentioned, is interim. Duration is going to be lapsing by next month. That is going to be the end of our next transfer window. Who do you see possibly replacing Lucasi, or should we now say Gareth Southgate as the head coach of the Three Lions? Don't forget, there's the likes of Jurgen Klopp, there's Pep Guardiola, there's ODO, there's Graham Potter, and a couple of other names that are in the mix. Do you think maybe a certain Guardiola will take up that job, or Frank Lampard?
I don't think. First of all, I don't think you have to be for a club at this.
Okay, McKenna, the guy with Ipswich.
See, the people I'm looking at based on the recent report by Verdi's Graham Potter, and he came out, I think, on a show where he said that he wants to have like a rest for a year. And also Jurgen Klopp, who has been vying for this position, has another rule.
He has another job now, of course.
Cut him out.
Yeah.
And the only person that stands like is Eddie Howe. But Eddie Howe is still the manager of Newcastle. And there are no talks about him getting the job for. So the English national team, after this last international window that is going to be happening in November, they have a long period of time to assess and to scrutinize any coach that is actually going to be coming up for. I don't think Guardiola will take the position. Guardiola is seen after Man City, maybe the Spanish job.
Or maybe the Brazilian job.
Or maybe the Brazilian
or the Argentine job.
We cannot see we cannot see any names spring up when it comes to education. We have a lot of young English coaches in the EPL. So I want to be support with the names that we are hearing. None of them are talking that they want to get the English job.
All right, we look forward to see what is going to happen in the next couple of days. Let's say next month to be precise, when the Football Association will be looking to decide who is going to be taking the job of the Three Lions of England. Let's quickly go straight into other matches. You know how we do it on Fridays, Just Football, and Just Football will be doing it. Currently underway is the Super Eagles of Nigeria right there at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium hosting the Mediterranean Knights of Libya. 30 minutes played already, and the scoreline is still set at 0-0. I mentioned to you already, bulk of the attack. Right now, the Libyans are very much on the attack, and wow. It's gone out of the pitch of play, throwing to the Libyans, and then we look forward to see what is going to happen as the game proceeds. We'll still be giving you real-time analysis of the game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Mediterranean Knights of Libya. As it stands right now, our scoreline remains 0-0. Still taking control of the other matches that went down yesterday. I mentioned at the start of the show that France, of course, without Kylian Mbappe, put a sword to the heart of the Israelites. The Israelites scoring a goal in the 21st minute, but Eduardo Camavinga has scored the first goal of the encounter. 6 minutes into the game, Christopher Nkunku bringing back the form he's having with Chelsea, currently scoring also just after Israel got a leveler. And then there's Guendouzi who also scored in the 87 minutes, and Bakola scoring in the 89th minutes of that game. France, Mbappe-less France still winning away from home.
See, no better way to reply after all the news about Mbappe not playing for the national team. I've seen a lot of people come out for Mbappe regarding him not playing for them. I saw a report where, was it not the game against Lille, after the Mbappe came on in that game, and Deschamps asked him that, is he okay, is he fit to go? And he said no, there is still feelings of pain. And the game during the weekend against Villarreal, we saw Mbappe start. And a lot of people have come out for Mbappe that if you are not putting your national team first, exactly, then why are you the captain of the national team? And people have even questioned, but
Tchouameni was the captain last night.
Without Mbappe, the French players showed what they can do on their day. We saw the likes of Camavinga,
Mathieu Guendouzi,
Okoku, after a long period of time not being in the French squad, he got back on the score sheet. We saw Guendouzi and the upcoming star who scored the next Mbappe, that's Bakola, getting the last goal for them. And it was quite expected coming from the last game. And the last game was against Italy, where they lost their encounter by 2-1. Now they needed to get the maximum point, because don't let us forget that it's only the person that who wins the group, who tops the group, will qualify for the next stage. That's the semi-final stage of the Nations League. That's when the main competition starts. A lot of people are talking about this group stage. It still looks like more like a friendly. That's why most of these big players are not turning up for their countries. But at the end of the day, if you don't top the group, you will not be able to get into the
semi-final.
I think it was a good victory for the French national team.
Also going into the World Cup qualifiers too. We're looking forward to see what the France national team will still be doing maybe in the next coming days. Well, we hope that the next transfer window, Kylian Mbappe will be fitting, of course. Talk about experience right now. Outside of Mike Magnan, who is the goalkeeper, maybe Theo Hernandez, maybe who do I want to mention again? I think just these two guys are the ones you talk about being really much experienced within the France national team. Now, Anthony Griezmann retired at the end of the last World Cup, or was it the World Cup? International window. He retired, and now looks like Kylian Mbappe is. Should they call him the points man for the France national team as we speak?
If you are looking at the team that played at the World Cup, majority of the players are in currently game. We are looking at the only player that appeared is Mbappe.
Maybe Theo.
And Theo
Kolo Muani.
Kolomani was not part of that 2018 World Cup.
Yeah. It was not part of
We are talking about the likes of Pogba, likes of Kante, likes of
Olivier Giroud,
likes of Olivier Giroud, Rafael Varane,
Karim Benzema. Yeah.
Now we are having like a new setup of this French national team, and the pressure, all the old pressure lies on Mbappe now. And if going into the next World Cup or a major tournament, the French are always favored to actually be one of them to actually make the tournament. And with this set of players, see, there are a lot of talent when it comes to especially the French national team. We saw this same set of players play. The majority of these players partook in the last Euros and also the last World Cup. We're talking about the likes of Kolomani, the likes of Saliba, the likes of Upamecano, and the rest. Mike Magna is just, after Iloris retired, he took over the number 1 position as the French national team. Let us see what this set of players have to give. Are they going to do more than what the 2018 World Cup did?
I've done.
Exactly. That's the question mark that is put on this current French national team.
Okay, we look forward to see what this French national team will be building on from the illustrious career they've had. Should we call them their heroes past now? Because take a look at that 2018 World Cup winning squad to what they had at the 2022 World Cup. I mean, France has been to the World Cup finals two times in a row now, won it once and got defeated by Argentina in the second one. Still currently on the way is Nigeria up against Libya 0-0 and it's 20 minutes played already. I cannot tell you what my eyes is saying, but I really do think that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will put on a more aggressive tone into this game and possibly factor out a goal in the first half of this encounter, because really it still looks like they are a little bit slow to my own eyes right now. They are not playing the way they play for their club side. Talk about the likes of Victor Boniface. And then away from that, let's still go through a couple of matches that went down yesterday in the UEFA Nations League. Belgium, from 2 goals down, came back and drew 2-2 against Italy. Italy, though, with a red card, Pellegrini gets a red carded in the 40th minute of that encounter.
There was yesterday game of the night for me. I really watched this game and it was quite interesting. Both sides going at it. But before the red card, actually, the Italians were dominating the Belgians all through. We saw the likes of Dimarco, the likes of Cambiaso and the rest who were actually showing their attacking skill. Vitegno also was showing their attacking skill. But after the red card collected by Pellegrini in his own stadium, I think that's where the game changed for
Lorenzo,
the Italian national team. And at the end of the day, we saw the Belgians came back into the game. The free kick the foul that was committed, that free kick led to the first goal for the Belgian national team. It was a good set piece. I think is what we have done in training. It was kind of the setup they did. And at the end of the day, it turned up 2-2. Because when you are going a man down to a top opponent, it becomes difficult for you to keep your lead, and that's what you saw yesterday. But it was a good outing between the both sides. That's the Belgian national team, and also we have moved away from the golden generation of the Belgian national team. The same thing we talked about the France national team. We are seeing a new kind of setup. Yesterday, the rest of the brain were not part
of the game.
Lukaku was not part. Now we are looking at the rest of Openda, Jeremy Doku, and
Leandro Trossard.
The rest. The captain yesterday was Tielemans, to show how we have moved away from that 2018 golden generation set to now a new set of people. And at the end of the day, one thing I want to note out in that game was that when you want to watch a beautiful game of football, where both sides are going at each other, where that one side is dominating play over the other, it was that game between the Italians and also the Belgians.
And the Belgians yesterday. Okay, I mean, in your own words, you feel entertained watching that game yesterday. Of course, anyone watching that game will also feel entertained. Okay, before we go back to talk about the 3 Lions of England, because for Arsenal fans, maybe not too good news for them in that particular encounter against Greece yesterday. The fact that they lost and also losing now star boy Bukayo Saka out to injury. Arsenal fans, they don't want to hear this.
See the last international video, one person left. They was talking about their captain.
Odegaard.
Another captain. The Arsenal captain now is leaving. Hopefully, it's not something serious for the Arsenal, because we have to face the reality that if majority of your starters are having injury, then you get to have an effect on your team, no matter the people you have on the bench, because these are your go-to guys that Arteta actually trusts. And yesterday game is another game that the reason why a lot of these players have been complaining about more games. You could see that yesterday one of Arsenal key players had an injury, and coming into the after the national break, we are going to have some run of games, and if Arsenal is to stay put with the likes of Liverpool and Man City, you need your main men. That's talking about the likes of Odegaard. I hope Odegaard comes before the international window. Maybe after the international window, we'll see the likes of Odegaard. But if Saka is going to go out for a long period of time, then it's going to affect that Arsenal team.
Alrighty, away from that, now let's talk about Gibraltar, who also won a competitive game since 2020. They defeated San Marino. The San Marino we talked about the last international break, that they've also got a goal for themselves in over 2 decades. Amazing is the fact that beautiful game of football. If you defeat someone, you get defeated as well. 1-0 that one ended. Gibraltar getting one over San Marino last night. A couple of other games also went down away from Europe. Right now, let's talk about the Confederation of African Football, where Algeria defeated Togo 5-1. That one ended. And so our Ghanaian brothers, they played out a 0-0 draw against Sudan. Ghana, how the mighty has fallen. Our coach Otto Addo. Honestly, I really don't know what is happening with Ghana. Maybe it is same as Ghana and Nigeria. But before that game, the chief executive of the Ghana Football Federation came out and, while encouraging the players, mentioned something about don't forget that they played out the 0-0 draw against Niger as well in the other international break. And then he mentioned that players from that Niger squad cannot make it into his team. Well, I find that kind of derogatory, though. That why are you going to refer to those players like that? But this same set of players came out and played against the Sudan side and could not get a win right at home.
You don't know what thing is funny about this Ghana national team. A lot of people thought that the president of the Ghanaian FA going into the dressing room kind of give them a morale. Well, at the end of the day, it was the opposite that happened, and against in their home ground, against the South Sudan side, you expect that they will actually kind of kick off their Africa qualifier. But at the end of the day, now the Ghanaians are already using calculator to calculate how they will qualify out of the qualifiers now as it stands. Against the likes of, when you have the likes of Sudan, you have the likes of Niger in the group. You expect that the Ghanaians should be the one top in the group. It's the opposite example this time around. We have seen I saw the video where the Ghana FA was talking about. He mentioned the likes of Mohamed Kudus, that before you even came to this world, the Ghana national team have been existing and all that. I think that he did too much. On a normal scenario, that's the job of the coach. I know that you are the chairman of the football association, of the football association, and you want more from this set of players. But if these players don't have, as you can't give what you don't have. Exactly. You can't force.
But do you want to tell me that this Ghanaian side cannot give or do not have anything? I mean, this Ghanaian side that has likes of Inaki Williams. You saw what Inaki Williams does for his team, Athletic Bilbao. There's a certain you also in this Ghanaian national team too. There's Mohamed Kudus, just like you mentioned, and then they can still not factor out a win.
You know what? They said something. Was it not yesterday in the interview? They said that you might have the material, but it's not left for this material to come together to give you an end product. And that's what we are saying with this Ghanaian national team.
Wow.
They have, compared to the people that are in their group, they have better players than the other countries. But when it comes to playing as a team, that's where the question mark is on. And we are saying them that they have the talent, they have the players, they have the top players ahead of those people in their group. But when these players come on the field of play, they aren't working as a team. And that's why we are saying that them dropping points at home are not even yet to win a game when it comes to the AFCON qualifier. So it's left for these players to, if they know that they want to participate in the next AFCON that is going to be happening in Morocco, it's left for them to know how to salvage a way to come back into these AFCON qualifiers and they have 3 games left. They can win all those 3 games if they want to win it. That's by playing as a team. Okay,
if Ghana definitely play as a team, they can win the games that they have pending. A lot of things are, according to Ghanaians, what they let, and there's no cutting edge in front of goal. We hope that this is not going to happen with the Super Eagles of Nigeria as well, because as it stands right now, we've actually been missing a couple of chances, and right now, We just have to take them. For Ghana, should they draw points again in their next game on Monday, only 2 matches is going to be remain, and then their chances will further be slimming down because 2 decades on after they failed to qualify for Tunisia 2004, I beg your pardon, they've always been making it to the African Cup of Nations. The same cannot be said about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, though. Elsewhere yesterday, Algeria also defeated Togo 5-1. Sadio Berama scoring a brace in that encounter. Other games that went down in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers, Democratic Republic of Congo also defeated Tanzania 1-0. Burkina Faso were 4-1 winners over Burundi. And away from that, now let's go into the Nigerian Premier Football League Match Day 6 encounters, and a couple of March 14 encounters will be going down this weekend. Tomorrow is going to be Abia Warriors up against Kwara United, 1 game. And a lot of fans will be looking forward to see Coach Imama Akpakamabo. I'm sorry, Coach, if I did murder your name right there, will be the one the dugout for Abia Warriors. And as well, right there at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Ikorodu City will be hosting Bendel Insurance. Tomorrow still, Sunshine Stars will be hosting Enugu Rangers in the Nigerian Premier Football League. And these are the 3 games that will be going down tomorrow. First off, let's start with Enugu Rangers. Of course, without their head coach, Fidelis Ilechukwu is on national assignment right now, will be hosting Sunshine Stars.
It's going to be an interesting match. You saw the last time at the Oyeta derby between Enugu Rangers and Abia Warriors, and Enugu Rangers was able to take it. And as it stands like this, they are seated 4th behind the likes of Elmo Stars, Imba, and also Rivers United. And you expect that at home at the Cathedral, you expect them to get the maximum points. And without Fidelis Ilechukwu, what you want to say is that these Enugu Rangers haven't been scoring a lot of goals. But let us forget that Kennedy Boboye with Sunshine Stars is not, and
to say they are playing at home,
it's not a team that you will find it easy to
walk in the park.
And I think that you will kind of set up his team in order to get the maximum points. It will be an interesting encounter. And then we just start their coach, and also a Sunshine Stars with Kennedy Boboye. We want a lot of goals between both teams. And you know that one thing about the APFL table is that if you lose a game, you can be on top of the table. You don't come down. If you drop a point.
I mean, this is what they tell you. Also, they don't tell someone. Away from that, right now, still matches during this weekend. Ikorodu City are now without a substantive head coach since the resignation of Coach Bright Ozadegbe. They will be hosting Bendel Insurance. Bendel Insurance, who are under Coach Monday Odige, have not been able to get 6 points from the 5 games they've played. They've won just 1 game as well this season. You also see Bendel Insurance, somewhat of a record from what they did 2 seasons ago when they came in fresh into the Nigerian Premier Football League. They made it to the finals of the Federations Cup. They won it, by the way, and then since then, looks like their chances have been dwindling last season and then this season again.
Right, that time they performed in the NPFL, which was an abridged league, and I think they went unbeaten until they got to the Super 6.
Super 6.
They went unbeaten in that period. But one thing we know about Bendel Insurance is that defensively wise, they are good. And if you are looking at one of the teams that have produced, that have allowed a lot of
players,
Super Eagles players that have gone into the Super Eagles camp, majority have come from
Bendel Insurance. Currently, there's Amas Obasoji.
So even though those people are playing abroad now, but they have produced. I could remember, was it not that abridged league? There was a strike at that period.
Deputy Cheta. Okay, Imade he now plays in United Arab Emirates.
He plays in United
Arab Emirates.
That period he was hot. He was just getting the goals for them. But now they don't have a lot of attacking options. The people that are there aren't stepping up.
Well, I think the story of Imade is a case for another day, because I can remember Imade coming through from the HIFL. That is a league that is being organized for university students in Nigeria. And then after, he was still in school while he was playing for Bendel Insurance. He graduated right there with Bendel Insurance. Just after that, he traveled out of the country and went to United Arab Emirates. Well, we hope he's enjoying his stay right there though. But we're talking about Bendel Insurance and the game tomorrow. Coach Monday Odige, somewhat towards the end of last season, it was being said that maybe he was going to resign, and at the end of the day, he came back, said he went for a study leave, all of those things. But yeah, this season we'll still not be seeing them the way we thought they are going to be. Well, understand that Edo State right now is really not encouraging for a lot of things, because back then used to be former coach Philip Shuaibu, who is the deputy governor, who was always gingering these boys, but then the same has not been happening.
It has not been happening for them, because I think if they are looking at what other teams have played against the likes of Ikorodu City, talking about, I can remember Nassau United went away from went to the Mobology just and got the maximum points. That could be like a motivation for them. But on the other hand, the Ikorodu City will also want to get their first points. That's their first win of the season, because as it stands, they are winless. Out of 5 games, they have lost for June 1. The one they got was away from home against Kwara United, and they have only scored 1 goal. So, as it stands, maybe we could see a new manager bounce for Ikorodu City, because their coach resigned on Monday. He said he wasn't happy with the way the team was going, and maybe this could be because you're going to have a new set of coaching crew at the dugout for them. Yeah. And on Saturday, when they are going to play against the Bellel Insurance, hopefully because I'm a supporter of the Lagosian clubs and I want to see them excel, because as it stands, the Ikorodu City are seated 20th and they are part of the 3 teams that haven't gotten a win in the LPFL season. So they have a lot of work to do against a better Insurance. It will be an interesting encounter, but I'm seeing this goal. I'm seeing this match not having a lot of goals, because we are seeing a defensive side and also a team that is not scoring a lot of goals.
Well, this Sunday, let's go straight to the games that we played on Sunday. This Sunday is going to be Rivers United away from home. They'll be playing against Katsina United. Rivers United unbeaten this season, going into the 6th match day. Yeah. Do you think this might just be our coach Finidi George winning the MPFL for the 2nd time running? I know the league is still baby.
If he wins the MPFL this time around, you know that means that the Super Eagles players actually set him up. Because,
so that he set him up.
Because he has done it with Enyimba. Even though it was a big league, he was able to win. At some point last season, when he was in charge, Enyimba were part of the people challenging for the title. Now he's with Rivers United. After match 5, he's still unbeaten, has 13 points, and just to show that he's going to be playing away from home against Katsina United. Katsina United are one team that they have been up and down. At some point, they were seated 4th to the MPFL table, but now they have gone down the pecking order. But it's been an interesting encounter between both sides. And we saw Rivers United went away from home against an Atlas side, got a red card, and we were able to salvage a draw out of that game. But against a Katsina United side, we don't know what they will bring on that day. That's on Sunday. Yeah. We will expect an interesting match between both. Well, I think if this season we have stopped the away run of games, so we are having away wins. I'm seeing Katsina United get the win and stop the unbeaten run of Rivers United. Okay,
I mean, in your own words, so other games will be played on Sunday as well. Akwa United will be at home and they will be hosting Kano Pillars at the Umaya Township Stadium. Of course, they cannot use the Godswill Akpabio Stadium. Our Academy Warriors will also be hosting Atland FC of Owerri. Bayelsa United will be hosting Plateau United. Remo Stars will be hosting Nasarawa United. Remo Stars without their head coach, Coach Daniel Ogumode. Then Enyimba will travel to Ibadan at the Adamasingba Stadium up against Shooting Stars.
That is the game of the week. That's between Daniel Ogumode and also
Yemi Olariwaju.
I saw a clip of when big matches are being played, we get a kind of a short video where we don't know what to expect from this match.
Yeah,
it's between the
Oluyole Warriors
and also the Elephant.
Yeah,
and I saw the clip that the Warriors are kind of the hunters trying to hunt
the Eyimbas who are coming into town.
It's going to be an interesting encounter. Last season, this game ended in favor of Enyimba way. I could remember Enyimba went to the Lagos Salami Stadium to get a win. That was a 2-1 win. This time is a different encounter because Enyimba are also one team that they are second of the table as it stands. Just goal difference separating them and the Remo Stars. And they want to put themselves in a better position as it stands in the MPFL table, because the MPFL table is between those 3. If anybody slip up, you will see that they will create a large gap between you and the other teams. And I think for a bigger Robote, it's under a lot of pressure. He took Shooting Stars to 4th last season.
They were almost title contenders.
They almost title contenders. At some point, they were even contended for the title. It was just 1 point that allowed them not to play at the continent. Where they took 4th, and the third is just the top 3 that are going to be called.
Academy Warriors took their spot.
Took their spot, exactly. So now they have to get a win at their home. The only win they got, I think it was against an Atlas side the last time they played at home. But this time it's going to be a difficult task for them against an Enyimba side.
Alright, it's going to be a difficult task. Well, bringing you up this commentary from the game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and also the Mediterranean of Libya. It's 39 minutes played already, and guys, some 2 minutes worth of break. Because we're actually talking about the MPFL. I could not bring it out update for you because the goalkeeper of the Libyan team was down injured and he had to be attended to. Well, the players now resumed back, and then we are looking forward to see what is going to happen in the next couple of minutes before we call it a wrap on the first half of that encounter. Still 0-0. Super Eagles of Nigeria right there at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium against the Mediterranean Knights of Libya. It's the African Cup of Nations 2025 qualifiers, and hopefully Super Eagles of Nigeria will be able to grind out a win in this encounter. Don't forget you can be a part of the show this evening. 070010211021 is the number to call to be a part of the show. 070010211021. Tell us what are your expectations from the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and if you've seen the game, how do you think the Super Eagles have been faring so far? Bro, from our end in the studio, we really do think that something better would have been done by the Super Eagles of Nigeria, especially not to name names right now, Moses Simon, and of course they just have to grind out this win, because don't forget that yesterday it was reported that some of our colleagues, journalists who were going to cover this game, were being kidnapped, and of course some of them have been rescued, while some of them are still unaccounted for. Not too good news though. Not too good news, worried.
Not good news. You know that the security, the state of this country is quite bad. That's what we have. You see, traveling from one state to another state is, as it stands, you know that.
But this is the job.
This is the
job.
It
is the life you chose. You would have been in the classroom or doing something else.
If it's not this kind of the situation we are, flying these people by, I you know how it's expensive flying a lot of these people who are going to go and kind of cover these matches for us, and the reason why they are doing this is for the people who are not at the stadium to be able to get to watch the Super Eagles. But as it stands, one of the colleagues of those people that cover the matches, he during the period actually lost his life, and may get to so rest in peace.
Amen.
Because there are still people. I think there are 2 people who are left. They are
still unaccounted for.
It's bad. It's bad. We have a lot of things to do.
Families at home. Okay, before we wrap up with the Nigerian Premier Football League, tomorrow is going to be the first test for Daniel Amokachi with Lobby Stars when they will travel to play against Niger Tornadoes. Lobby Stars, their form has not been all that bad this season, because of course they are sitting pretty on 17, and if they continue like this, they might just be able to avoid relegation. They won their last match though, 1-0. That one ended.
Yes, they won their last match, and now, like we already said on Monday, that we are having most of our ex-players come back into the Nigeria Professional League, get a team and coach. You know, one thing is that you might think that the approach session is different from the NPFL. There are a lot of factors that are working against you, and you have to look for a way to actually service those things.
You said that factors working against you.
I saw yesterday there was a press release that 50% of the club in the NPFL is either the one or paid debt.
Of course.
All that. But now we have a work, and we have seen pictures of him in the training ground. He has started jobs since Monday, and hopefully his first game of the season will start with a win, because he's going away from home. It will be a difficult task. Anyway, let me start a level player too. They are kind of, anytime they have an home game, it's away from home. It's kind of a neutral ground for them and their opponents, because you know what, the Benue Stadium isn't up to standard. And I think on Monday the NPFL board released the level setups that
are already past the host matches.
And that's the but for Lobby Stars, hopefully Daniel Amokachi, his role is different now. We have seen him several times become the assistant coach of the maybe the national team on other occasions, but now he's the head coach of the teams, and he has a work to do. We have seen the likes of Philip George, what they are doing in the FFA. So Daniel Amokachi, his journey is starting this weekend, and hopefully it starts with a win against his opponent.
Well, for Daniel Amokachi, just like you mentioned, his journey is starting this weekend, and hopefully he gets to get the job done for the Lobby Stars team, by the way, because I mean he's a Benue, he's from Benue State, by the way, so it's just like him representing his home team right there. And then of course you mentioned about the NPFL, and also a couple of memos that came out earlier this week. First of all, let's talk about the decisions from the NPFL board according to the meeting that was held late last month, and that's about teams, stadiums that will be hosting live matches. You have have the likes of Samuel Gomeja Stadium in Benin, there's Eyimba International Stadium, there's Drummond Star Stadium, there's Lekon Salami Stadium in Ibadan, there's the Adokia Masamaka Stadium in Port Harcourt, there's the Umar Diko Stadium in Katsina, there's the Lafia Township Stadium, there's the Gosul Akpabio Stadium, there's the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, and then there's the Gosul Akpabio Stadium, the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, and the Loretta Township. Just 11 stadiums are of the 20 teams that are playing in the Nigerian Premier Football League.
Yes. So I think some teams are every sharing stadium. Talking about the likes of Nassau United sharing the stadium with Blue Stars. Katsina United also sharing the stadium with Kano Pillars.
Kano Pillars.
Yeah, we have other people, other encounters, but still, out of this 11, there's only one that is FIFA accredited or CAF accredited.
That's the Gosul Akpabio.
That's the Gosul Akpabio Stadium. But you know that we have to play football. See, if it was left for me, until these clubs do the right thing, the league will not go. But the FFF board has allowed some, because at least they are able to meet some criteria. But with this, just level stadiums out of the 20 teams that are in the FPFA, we just have level venues that could host a proper FPFA game. Yeah. But even out of the level, some of these stadiums, they are not up to standard. But for this period of time, we could actually manage that. And it's good to see that the FPFA board are trying to big up the standard in a way, because I watched one match, was it the last 2 years? I see that day it was a rainy day, but you know that when there's water on the pitch, the ball doesn't go
very well. Of course, yeah, it slows it down.
It was a lobby star match. I could remember there was water all over the pitch, and I don't know why the referee allowed play to go, because it was like you guys were just forcing the ball to move. And all these are the things that we have to correct when it comes to our IPFL matches.
All right, away from that right now, let's go straight back to Europe after talking about the MPFL. And I mentioned let's start with the good news, by the way. Yesterday, no, it was 2 days ago, there was news about Kopama winning the English Men's Player of the Month award, and a lot of people are debating it that should have been Jude Bellingham. If not Jude Bellingham, should have been Bukayo Saka, because the main reason why Kopama was able to win it was because he's playing in the midst of a team with mediocre players, and he seems to be like the only exceptional player. Do you also agree to this?
See, I said something that based on the numbers, he has more goal involvement than the two players. That's talking about Jude Bellingham and Bukayo Saka. Because besides Bukayo Saka, the last 2 times he has been the one winning it. Yeah. But if you are looking at it from this angle, when it comes to the national team, because this we are talking about the England Men Player of the Year, and Kopama made his debut last year in November against Malta. And if you are looking at it based on what these 3 set of players who played more matches, you could see that even Gareth Southgate was bringing Kopama inside. I don't know what was the criteria used for judging. Like I said, I'm not a fan of fans voting, because I kind of prefer the journalists, even though the journalists will have some sentiment there, but on a professional level that they are, you will see that sometimes their sentiment will be there, but their profession, that's showing that they are professional, will triumph over the sentiment angle. And since it's voted by the fans, it's based on who you think that their favorites, let me put it that way, their favorite, I think they voted for. But for Jude Bellingham, look at what Real Madrid did last season. They won the La Liga, won the Champions League, and the impact he had in that Madrid team, I think he had more goal involvement, goal contribution in that Real Madrid team than any other player. But Kopama had 22 goals, level assists just in the Premier League. Based on that, one team was good and won, and that Chelsea setup was more of, without Kopama, that Chelsea setup was not good.
Yeah, of course. That's why I mentioned that a lot of people are saying should have been maybe a certain Jude Bellingham or Bukayo Saka, because Kopama playing in the midst of the mediocre players at Chelsea was the main reason why it seemed like the only shining light in that squad. Well, away from that, let me quickly update you about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. First half done and dusted, and it's ended 0-0 between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Mediterranean Knights of Libya. We now await the start of the second 45 minutes of the encounter. Well, a couple of not too good, stuff to say about the game, because right now we should be talking about that game being dead and buried already. And Victor Boniface once again shooting black in the game for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We look forward to see what is going to happen in the second half though, but right now it ends in a draw in the first half. Still talking about the English Premier League, earlier today as well it was mentioned that a certain Kopama has won the English Premier League Player of the Month for September, also winning the Goal of the Month. Chelsea coach Enzo Maresca won the Goal of the Month. Manchester United goalkeeper, that double save against Crystal Palace, won the Save of the Month.
I think it's deserving. All the people that got their award actually deserve it. And I look at the talking about the manager Enzo Maresca, the people that he was up against, the likes of Arteta, the likes of Marco Silva, Unai Emery, and also Arne Slot. He had the perfect. So he won the June one. And he was never defeated. The only thing that I thought Arne Slot could have gotten the chance of winning it. Look at the last month was won by Fabian Osella, the Brighton manager. Now we're having a new manager who just coming into the Premier League, getting the second manager.
4 games, 3 wins, 9 goals.
9 goals. And for Kopama, I think 4 games, he had 5 goals, 1 assist, to show how impressive. 4 of those games came against Brighton. And the goal of the month was, I think, the free kick that he scored against also Brighton. To show that the Brighton game was the determinant for allowing this.
Okay, I think the goal of the month is John Duran's goal against Everton.
John Duran goal
against Everton,
against Everton. So it's good for them. I did Onana, the double save he had against Crystal Palace. Is one of the saves that you can't take away from him, because he had that, and as it stands, he has the most clean sheets in the EPL. That's what a certain manager is celebrating. But the 4 players that got their award, I think they are all deserving for getting this award.
All right, the 4 individuals have gotten the award are well deserving. Well, let's go to Manchester United. And not too good news coming through is that their newly signed defender Mazare is going to be out for 2 months after he's been diagnosed with heart conditions. Don't forget that this same heart conditions is the main reason why a couple of players have stopped playing the game of football. Let's take it to recent one, which was Kun Aguero. Also suffered the same heart conditions while playing for Manchester City before he got transferred to Barca. Don't forget, he was not able to play any game for Barcelona. Maybe if he played, maybe he played 1 or 2 matches for Barcelona, but this same heart condition was the main reason why he stopped playing. We've seen the likes of Iker Casillas. There's been Fabrice Muamba, the guy that had this cardiac arrest, playing for Bolton Wanderers, if I'm not mistaken. I think that one happened as far back as maybe 2011 in one game like that. But now I'm talking about the recent one, which is about this Manchester United defender. This guy has been exceptional since he joined the squad, and people are already saying, maybe he's going to be a perfect fit. But look at it, out with heart injury.
I've seen a lot of United fans come out to say that. Look at Wan-Bissaka replacement. If he's not available, then why did United signed him? But you know that one thing is that health comes first. The medical condition of some players.
But they did medicals for this guy.
See, Eriksen also has an heart problem.
Yeah, of course. That is his own started during the first Euros.
Yes. There's a technology that actually is able to control this thing. I think I've forgotten the name. It starts, I forgot I remember the name, but there's a technology that can control if you have an heart problem. And we saw that with Eriksen. Like, Kanu also had some heart issues when he was playing, also during his playing days. But now, when there's technology, there are some things that you can, for a short period of time or for the whole period of time you are playing football, you can still be able to do that. And according to the report, he has been able to do surgery, and he's going to be out for like
2 months.
2 months. I think 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks. And hopefully, at the end of the day, it doesn't get worse, because you know that. First of all, we have to look at the health of the player before when it comes to, no matter the money the player is collecting, his health comes first above any other thing. Alrighty,
and no matter the amount the player is collecting, health before the world. And away from that, now let's go talk about Paris Saint-Germain chief and Nasser Al-Khelaifi, who is now speaking on the Club World Cup. He says, if you don't like it, don't play.
The Club World Cup?
Yeah. According to Nasser Al-Khelaifi, is defending the new format of the FIFA Club World Cup. Don't forget that FIFA have now revamped the competition, which will be debuting next year in June 15th, to be precise, in United States. 32 teams will be playing for 4 weeks.
Yes, this is another reason why a lot of players are complaining. But at the same time, the reason why this competition has been expanded is because that there is more money pumping into this competition. And we are going to be having people based on their past experiences, based on their past coefficients when it comes to UEFA competition, to get the opportunity. On the norms, it's just the winner from each continent that will come
play
against each other. But Europe is to have the
highest number of representatives,
the edge above others, where they start playing from the semi-final stage. But now, Europe still dominates when it comes to FIFA Club World Cup as it stands, because they are going to be having more teams than other continents, and it's good for it's a nice experience. The first time it's going to be having 32 teams, it's going to be having for a longer period of time, and I think it's after the season's end. That's the whole normal season end. That's talking about the June-July period that we're going to have this tournament, which is good. But one thing is that these players also need some money. So at the same time, if you are collecting that amount of money, you actually have to do your job. And you see, if you don't, like Ekalefi already said that, if you don't want to play, just keep your mouth shut.
If you don't want to play, just keep your mouth. I mean, we already know that the competition is not for every team, by the way. Still the sports option right here on Hyper Radio 102.1 FM, and as well, we'll be calling it a wrap on the package for today. But before we go, let's give you a wrap up of all of the matches that are currently on the way. I'll talk about the UEFA Nations League in Group 1. Half-time played already. Estonia 2-1, leading over Azerbaijan. Later this evening, Czech Republic will be hosting Albania. Slovakia will be hosting Sweden, while Ukraine will be playing up against Georgia. While in Group 3, Bosnia and Herzegovina will be hosting Germany. Hungary will be hosting Netherlands. In Group 4, Iceland will be hosting Wales. Turkey will be hosting Montenegro. And in the CAF African Cup of Nations qualifiers ahead of the 2025 Nations Cup, Madagascar have played after 1-0 against Gambia today. And 8 p.m. is going to be Tunisia hosting Comoros. That is the match in Group A. In Group B, Gabon will be hosting Lesotho. Group C, Egypt are currently playing 0-0 against Mauritania. Halftime. So you can tell it's not just the Super Eagles of Nigeria who are, Disney dazzling. And in Group D, Benin Republic are 1-0 up against Rwanda. Looks like this group is going to be tight at the end of the day. I'll tell you how the group standings is going to look like if these matches continue this way, or let's say the reverse happens and then Libya wins against Nigeria.
It's going to be open, because as it stands, if Benin gets the maximum point against Rwanda, now and Nigeria draws this game, now it's become difficult for the Super Eagles to actually have an easy ride. But what is that if we are able to get our job done, you don't have to look at what other people are doing.
Of course, if we are able to get the job done, but as it is right now, we have not been able to get the job done. Let's not lie to ourselves. Well, I'll tell you more about this before we call it a wrap on the package. Still giving you a couple of matches that will be played. I mentioned to you that Nigeria currently playing 0-0 against Libya. In Group E, Equatorial Guinea have defeated Liberia 1-0. Group F later tonight, Angola will be hosting Niger. In Group G, Zambia will be hosting Chad. Okay, that's played already. They played at 0-0. Ivory Coast will be hosting Sierra Leone. In Group I, Mozambique played at 1-0 against Eswatini. And Mali will be playing against Guinea-Bissau later tonight. In Group J, halftime, Cameroon are 3 goals up against Kenya, which who have scored 1 as well. While in Group K, Uganda are playing at 0-0 draw against South Sudan. South Africa will be played any minute from now, 6 p.m. Nigerian time, against Congo. While Group L, Senegal will be hosting Malawi. A couple of matches, of course, to look forward to in the African Cup of Nations. Now, let's go talk about Nigeria in Group D. Nigeria, Benin, Rwanda, and Libya. If the match goes on like this, of course, Benin will be having 6 points, which means they'll be stopping Nigeria.
With 7 points. Okay, they have 6 points.
They will have 6 points because this is the third game.
They lost their game against Nigeria.
Yeah.
So they have 6 points.
6 points.
Nigeria will have 5 points.
5. If we play out a draw.
A draw. But I think for the Benin, having Benin top us over again after the what we are doing at the World Cup qualifiers, it's going to be a bad thing. Yeah? Because as we're in the studio, we have been getting highlights of the match between them and Libya. The Nigerian national team isn't giving us a lot of confidence because attacking wise we are not getting it.
Yeah, a lot of calls for substitution already.
And I think it's left for Eguavoen to make substitutions. As it starts, if we want to get, I don't mind us winning 1-0. As far as we are able to get the job done, that's get the maximum points, then it's good. So Eguavoen has to make a tactical substitution. If it's bringing on the likes of Fisaya Dele Bashiru and also
Maybe Taiwo Awoniyi.
And Taiwo Awoniyi into the game. We will see how the encounter goes between both sides.
Okay, we'll see how the encounter is going to go between both sides, and that is how we'll be wrapping up the show for today. The Sports Talk Show on 9 Radio 102.1 FM. Currently, they are on the 15 minutes timeout, and of course, I'll still be giving you more updates when the games resumed. By 6:10 on the clock. Waris, before I let you go this evening, I'd like you to drop your parting shot for me before, because we'll be back here tomorrow as well, 2 p.m. down to 3 p.m. on the Sports Talk Show.
I'm going to be back here on. You see, like I said, there are sometimes that you won't feel like doing some things, but the motivation, even though that you have a certain target to do that stuff, you get up and naturally do. So anything you are doing, you always put your mind, put 100% focus, and have it that at the end of the day, it will bring out a positive result for you. Okay, I mean, just if I should phrase what you're trying to say now, this is to tell us that we should put our best foot in front, and every other thing is going to happen to us. Do what is right, so everything will be all right. Alrighty, thank you for that one, Waris, and that's how much we're taking on this show for this evening. We'll be back here tomorrow, 2 p.m. down to 3 p.m. on the Sports Talk Show, on our banter, on our rage, on our views, reviews, and all of the interviews right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Ayode Jajibo is signing out this evening. I say stay sporty, stay active, stay healthy, drink enough water to stay hydrated. Don't forget to go out there and be the best version of yourself. Be kind to people, because kindness is cool. I'll see you tomorrow. God spare us all. Good evening.
Everywhere you go,
no matter where you go,
we're with you as your urban lifestyle station. Hype at 102.1 FM.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information, call
0706 393 5694 0915 958